He drained our joint account, ran off with his side chick, and used my money to buy a new flat, a new Xbox, and an entire entertainment setup. I was broke, exhausted, and humiliated. But what he didn't know? I had a very specific set of skills. The kind that let me legally destroy him, and I was about to use every single one. If you've ever wished karma would just show up and slap someone across the face, this is your story. Hit that like button, subscribe if you believe in poetic justice, and comment your favourite moment of sweet revenge. Because what happened next was brutal, satisfying, and 100% legal. When I first met him, I genuinely thought I'd hit the jackpot. He was 26, a mature student who'd just restarted his degree. Polished, ambitious, charming, he seemed like the kind of guy who had made mistakes, but was finally putting his life together. He always had something sweet to say, little gifts. He even made sure to surprise me between classes with coffee or snacks. He was working part-time and acing his exams. Everything felt stable. At 22, I wasn't looking for drama. I wanted someone solid. And at first, he was. But slowly things started to shift. He began skipping classes. At first it was 1 or 2, then entire weeks. "I'll catch up," he'd mumble while glued to his Xbox controller, barely glancing up. The textbooks were replaced by gaming forums. He stopped cleaning. Then he stopped going to work. Eventually he was fired. No shows, again and again. Guess who picked up the slack? I was working double, sometimes triple shifts, while still trying to keep my GPA afloat. I cooked, I cleaned, I paid rent, all while he sat there, promising he'd get it together. And still I stayed. Why? Because I remembered the guy he used to be. I told myself it was just stress, just a phase. I was young, naive, and desperately clinging to the hope that the kind, hard-working version of him would come back. But that illusion shattered completely when I caught him cheating. I'll never forget that moment. The icy stillness in my chest when I saw the messages. I kicked him out that night. But the universe wasn't done kicking me. The next day, in the haze of heartbreak and fatigue, something hit me like a freight train. Our joint savings. We had over £5,000 in there, and while he contributed a few hundred, the rest was mine. From every extra shift, every holiday I skipped, every exhausted morning I dragged myself out of bed, I logged in. 0. Every last penny, gone. My hands shook. I called the bank, hoping, praying. But since it was a joint account, there was nothing they could do. I tried the police, same story. No crime had been committed. Because, technically, it was his money too. He'd stolen everything and vanished. And then, just when I thought the humiliation couldn't get worse, I saw him posting online. He was bragging about his new flat, his new consoles, his state-of-the-art gaming PC, all bought with my money. That's when something inside me snapped. I'm not naturally vengeful, but this wasn't just heartbreak or betrayal. This was full-blown psychological warfare. I couldn't go after him physically. I couldn't sue him without bankrupting myself in legal fees. But there was something he didn't know. You see, during my summers, I temped for a debt collection agency. The job? Soul-sucking. The pay? Great. The knowledge? Invaluable. And that knowledge became my weapon. Here's what you need to know. In the UK, if you owe a debt and the creditor doesn't collect within 6 years, it becomes statute barred. That means they can't legally force you to pay any more. Now, if you make a payment, even just £1, the 6-year clock resets. My ex, he was bragging about dodging debt collectors for years. He had it timed perfectly. A few more months and everything would be uncollectible. He even joked that he was about to be financially free. Idiot. Because I still had all his debt paperwork. He was too lazy to manage it, so I had done it all during our relationship. I knew exactly who he owed and how much, and I was about to make it all legally restart. I called every single one of his creditors. I didn't pretend to be him. That would be illegal. I told them I was a friend making a goodwill payment on his behalf. They weren't allowed to confirm details, but they could accept payments. I paid the minimum allowed. £1 here, £1.50 there, £8.50 in total. The best £8.50 I've ever spent in my life. Then I gave them his updated address, his new flat, and even his parents' home. Now, they couldn't officially change the address since I wasn't the debtor, but I knew from working in the industry they'd flag it, log it, and the system would do the rest. It was all in place. All I had to do was wait. A few months passed. Then the forum posts changed. No more gloating, no more photos of new toys. Instead, need help. Received court letter for old debt. He sounded panicked. Then he called me. His voice was all desperation. "I'm in trouble. Do you still have those debt documents? Can you help me just this once?" I told him exactly where he could go. He tried the forums again. Someone told him not to show up in court, that they can't prosecute if he isn't there. Terrible advice. And I knew it, because in civil court, not showing up usually means they win by default. He was walking himself straight into a judgment. Weeks later, he posted again. Photos. His apartment. Empty. The bailiffs had come. Everything was gone. The flat screen, the console, the PC, the gadgets, all gone. Then came the fallout. Multiple CCJs, county court judgments. These are financial nuclear bombs. They ruin your credit. You can't get loans, mortgages, even some jobs. Landlords won't rent to you. It's a permanent black mark. And with no shiny things to distract her, guess who left him next? That's right, his side chick. He was broke, alone, and deeply, deeply screwed. Did I get my £5,000 back? No, but I got something better. The knowledge that he'll be paying back that money, with interest, for years. That every single thing he stole funded the very trap that ruined him. Poetic, isn't it? Sometimes, justice isn't about getting even. It's about making sure the lesson sticks. If you loved watching karma unfold piece by piece, smash that like button. Subscribe for more true tales of sweet revenge. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my shoes? Because sometimes, the quiet ones, we hit back the hardest.